Hey crafty friends, I'm back with a process video. This is for the Hip Kit Club design team, and this is my first project with the November kits are so good. I know I say this every month, but the November kits are so good. And I was super excited when I saw the previews for the November kits because I thought it was all like yellows and blues and my favorite colors to scrap for fall. And then you'll see that I made a rainbow layout for this. So like there's plenty of color to play with in these kits. You have your typical fall colors, but there's pinks and there's corals and there's this beautiful dark navy paper, and it's just gorgeous. So my assignment for this project was product focus, and I was assigned to play with the exclusive products in the kit. And so I built this whole layout around the pack of acetate leaves that Kimberly designed. And the acetate leaves come in a rainbow of colors. And so I decided to make a rainbow layout. And so what you see me doing here first is I went through all the papers in the kits and I picked out, using both the pattern papers and the cardstock, the Bazzill cardstocks that come in the cardstock kit. I picked out a rainbow. One of the papers is an exclusive paper that Kim Watson designed, and the rest of the papers are like Heidi Swapp, Emerson Lane, and there's some papers from Jen Hadfield and Pebbles along the way. And you'll see like all these colors work so well, and Kimberly does such a good job pairing cardstock with the pattern papers. And I had, oh my God, I had so much fun making this layout. So what you see me doing is now just laying out my pattern paper strips in the rainbow order so I can figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to arrange them. And the photo I'm scrapping is from the Disney Moon. I have so many albums in process. Like I have the Disney Moon album, and I have the wedding album, and then I have our engagement photos album, and I just have like everything going on. And the beauty of having so many projects going is that when I want a scrapbook, I don't ever get bored because I have so much happening. So when we arrived at Disney World, in our hotel room, Joshua's family, my husband's family, had surprised us with like champagne and Mickey and Minnie wine glasses, and it was super cute. And it was the first photo I took once we got on our trip, so I was really excited about that. So that's the photo I'm scrapping, and of course, as I've been doing lately, I printed it in black and white because then I can have all the color. So you see, after I arranged my strips in rainbow order, I trimmed them down to various lengths so it wasn't like one thick block of paper. And then I used double-sided tape to stick them to each other, and then I used double-sided tape to stick them to the back of the page. And I messed around with doing them horizontally or vertically. Like I didn't know if I wanted a vertical rainbow or a horizontal rainbow, and then I was just like, why not throw all that out the window and go with a diagonal rainbow? So that's what I did. And I really, really like the way that looks. Now this layout is not terribly complex. I had a lot of fun making it because I love playing with color, but this is a really easy design to replicate. You don't have to go with rainbow. You can use any kind of pattern paper strips and then layer them and then play with color. So here was my idea. My idea was to tuck the leaves behind the corresponding strips of pattern paper. So tone on tone, that's what it's called. So I decided to do tone on tone with the leaves, and I had looked through the leaf pack before we started, and that's what guided my color choice. There's pink leaves, there's yellow, there's orange, there's this gorgeous like mint green color, and green is my favorite color. I don't scrap green a lot, but green's my favorite color, and the mint green leaves are stunning. And then there's like a teal one and a darker navy. And I don't play with navy a lot just because I have trouble scrapping with a darker color. But whenever there's a rainbow, you better believe that I'm finding a way to incorporate dark blue. And so that teal, that dark teal cardstock from Bazzill was just gorgeous. And then that gingham was actually the back of the Hip Kit Club exclusive paper. So I love the way that this rainbow goes from dark to light. And so you see now I'm just tucking leaves behind my pattern papers, trying to make sure that, there's not too many leaves, but then there's enough leaves. And you know me, I'm all about the embellishing, so I will stick down as many embellishments as possible. And I hope that they let you release this, that Hip Kit Club releases this leaf pack separately, because I would literally buy like 3 of these and keep them in my stash. These are so much fun to play with. And acetate can be a little hard because it's transparent. So it's hard to tell, you know, if it's going to show through, and which is why I was trying mainly to put it on the white, you know, the background, and not directly on the individual cardstock pieces, although you can layer it over like the pink or the plain mustard cardstock and you'll see it. But I love these pieces. So I just stuck them down with tape runner. The other thing about acetate being clear is that you'll see the adhesive you use. So my tip for using these is try not to use a lot of adhesive. Like I'm putting a tiny amount of tape runner on these. And then the leaves that are tucked behind the papers, I try to concentrate the tape on the piece of the leaf that's going to be tucked in, if that makes any sense. So not the piece of the leaf that you're actually going to see. So in addition to like the exclusive leaves, there's the wood veneer stickers that you see on the screen. That's a Hip Kit Club exclusive. And then underneath the wood veneer stickers, there's a pack of puffy stickers. And everything coordinates so well. That's the beauty of joining a kit club, is that you don't have to put your kits together. Like you don't have to figure out what goes where. Before I had these kits, I was scrapping by collection because I have a lot of trouble pairing collections and like color theory and all that. That's not my strong point. So I would only scrap by a collection. I would buy a whole collection and I would use that in one collection on a layout. And the beauty of getting these kits is they do all the hard work for you. So they mix and match everything, and now I get to work with multiple lines, and everything's just coordinates really easily. And this is not something I could have done myself. So I love these kits. So now I'm backing my photo, and I decided to keep the embellishments around my photo really simple and clean. Like you'll notice that this is probably the first layout ever that I've created that doesn't have a ton of embellishments around the photo cluster. And the reason I did that is because I wanted the die cuts on the rest of the page to really shine. But I can't not have texture, so I decided to mat my photo on vellum first, and then I matted it on that black and white cardstock, and now I'm matting it on tissue paper because I wanted a little bit of texture and a little bit of softness. This is a very, like, I don't know if I could call this a geometric layout. I'm going to call it, oh, I'm so sorry, there is a cat in here and she is playing and I cannot stop her. So I'm going to call this a geometric layout. I'm not sure if it really is, but it's very like linear for me. There's like no mixed media, there's no paint splashes everywhere. And so I decided to add some tissue paper to kind of soften it up. I'm not sure if it helps, but that was my idea. Sorry again about the cat. I've tried my hardest to lock them out the room when I do voiceovers, but then they sit outside the door and cry, and I think that makes even more noise. So now I'm just working on matting my, and now that I have my photo matted, my next thing is to figure out my title. So I knew I wanted to use those wood veneer stickers somewhere on this layout, and the wood veneer stickers is full of little leaf stickers, which works perfectly with the rest of my design because there's leaves everywhere. And so I create like these leaf clusters, kind of like leaf triangles. So wherever there was already an acetate leaf or like two acetate leaves together, then I added a tiny little leaf wood veneer to create a little triangle. So I go all around the page and I add the leaves, and I use the big leaves and I use the small leaves. And what I really loved about these leaves is some of them had gold, I don't know if it's gold foil or gold paint, but they're just shiny and gold, and I think that's really pretty. So like that leaf next to the pink one is all gold, and then like the smaller leaves are like wood veneer with the stem painted in to look gold, if that makes any sense. You'll see it better in the close-ups what the leaves look like. I'm like failing at describing them, but they're just beautiful. And then there's also tab pieces, and there's titles, and I love this wood veneer set. So I pulled it out, and I love wood veneer to begin with. Like I use wood veneer on a ton of my layouts, and wood veneer with like stickers attached, just even easier to use. So I scatter them all around the page, and I'm trying to work really like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to make sure that things are balanced. That's the thing, because this isn't like a design that I normally use, which normally has like a central element and then paper around it. I'm trying to work in a circle so that everything is like evenly balanced and that one side doesn't look heavier than the other. And I do this with the best of intentions, and you'll see at the end of this layout that it all goes out the window because I make a huge mistake. And then I had to like put the page down and come back to it because I had like a little bit of a panic attack, and then I was like, oh no. And so I had to put the page down and come back to it like 2 days later, which was a bit of an adventure. I've never had that happen to me where I did not finish a layout in one sitting, but I got super like, you'll see. I'm like ruining it, you'll see. So now I'm working on my title, and this gold thicker set is from the Jen Hadfield Along the Way collection, and it just has like these big beautiful scripty titles. And so I'm putting it on my craft mat because I'm trying to figure out, so I want my title to be Happy Memory. So I use the gold sticker, and then I'm using this wood veneer piece, and I'm trying to figure out how to arrange it, which is why I did it on my craft mat first and not on my layout. And then I decide to actually just put the memory sticker on top of the happy, and it looks really nice and it's really dimensional, which works with this layout because there's those, you know, chunky wood veneer pieces everywhere, so it doesn't look out of place. So now I'm using my T-square to put down the happy piece. I can't put things down in a straight line to save my life. Thankfully, someone who's much smarter than I am invented straight edges, and they make my life much easier. So you see, I put the memory on top of the happy. I use the down stems of the P's and the Y's as an anchor for my sticker. And so there's my title. And then I pull out the Heidi Swapp. These are the Emerson Lane cardstock stickers, and there's a sticker that said Love This, and so now my title is Love This Happy Memory. And I put the Love This up on foam because everything else is super dimensional and I didn't want to have that one flat element. So I use these tiny foam dots to pop the title off. And then this is where I should quit while I was ahead, because while I'm filming this, I'm like talking to the husband and I'm like, do you think this needs ink splatter? He's like, no, it looks gorgeous. He comes over, no, it looks gorgeous. And I'm like, no, babe, I think it needs ink splatter. And he's like, Tashiana, do what you want. And so, of course, I do what I want. I add ink splatter, and then I instantly regret it. But first, I pull out the gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I do some of that. Oh, I'm lying. First, I pull out the puffy stickers. And actually, I don't film the puffy stickers because I put the puffy stickers on the next day. So this layout took me like 4 days because first I did this, and then I had the disaster, and then I put it down for 2 days, and then I fixed it, and then I picked it back up and added puffy stickers. So now I'm adding the gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine. And this is okay. This goes well. And this is where I should have stopped. And the reason I wanted to add gold was because I had the gold title and I had the gold wood veneer stickers. And then I get the idea, oh, I have all these shimmers paints from previous color kits. Let's add some shimmers. So this is Deep Blue Sea. This actually came in this month's, the November color kit. And then I used Mustard Seed, which came in the September color kit. And I used Cotton Candy, which came in the September color kit. And I used Jenny B. Blue. No, Well Blew Me Down, which came in the August color kit. And so this all goes well. This is fine. Everything's going according to plan. And then disaster strikes and I have to figure out how to fix it. So what I did was more tone on tone. So I put the blue splatters by the blue side of the paper, and the pink splatters by the pink sides of the paper, and the yellow splatters by the yellow. And I pull out that Well Blew Me Down color. Well, first I pulled out a darker green. And then I was like, I don't like this green. So I put the green back and I pull out blue. And then that. Do you see the disaster? And then I'm working so fast, I don't even see it to begin with, which is the crazy part. Like I just keep working, la la la, I'm like adding my ink splatter and it's glaring at me. And then I realize it and then I have to figure out how to fix it. But the beauty of this design is all I had to do was add more paper, which had I figured that out the same day, I could have fixed the layout. But I was so busy panicking that I was like, how am I going to fix this, that I didn't think about it. But to save the layout, I added a white piece of paper on the pink side, and then I added a black piece of paper on the dark navy side to kind of balance it out because now my layers are pushing out towards the corners. And then I use a label sticker from the Heidi Swapp color pack, the Heidi Swapp cardstock sticker pack. I use a label sticker on either side and I save the layout. So my advice to you friends is there's nothing that could happen to a page that would make it not salvageable. Just take a deep breath, take a lesson from me, don't panic, and keep going. So I hope you enjoyed this process. I am sorry about the cats. They are still very young and very rambunctious, and there's no stopping them when they decide they want to like tear up our place. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment and like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Hip Kit shop because the November kits are still available and you can grab some of this awesomeness for yourself. As always, friends, keep it crafty and have a great day, and I'll see you at the next one.